February 2026. Europe is silent, transformed by a winter of historic proportions. The continent, so often alive with the sounds of daily life, now lies beneath a heavy muffling blanket of snow and ice. Streets that once echoed with laughter and conversation are now eerily quiet. The only sounds the distant howl of the wind and the soft, steady fall of snowflakes. From Ireland to Poland, cities are hushed under thick snow, the usual bustle replaced by the crunch of boots and the whisper of icy wind. The familiar rhythms of urban life have slowed to a crawl as people adapt to a world transformed overnight. Footprints mark the only evidence of movement, tracing paths between shuttered shops and silent squares. Amsterdam's canals are frozen solid, skaters gliding where boats once moved. Paris sparkles with frost, icicles hanging from Notre Dame. In every city, iconic landmarks are transformed, their familiar outlines softened by layers of snow and ice. The beauty is undeniable, but so is the sense of isolation, as communities hunker down and wait for relief. The Baltic Sea is locked in fractured ice, shipping halted. Harbors that once bustled with activity now stand silent, ships trapped in place by the relentless freeze. Trade routes are severed, and the economic impact ripples across the continent, adding to the sense of uncertainty. This isn't a fleeting cold snap, it's a relentless freeze, rewriting daily life for millions. Families bundle up in layers, venturing out only when necessary. Playgrounds stand deserted, swings and slides buried beneath drifts. Cars are entombed in ice, their shapes barely visible beneath the snow. Power grids strain, transport falters, and even simple journeys become monumental. Trains and buses sit idle, their schedules abandoned. Commuters trudge through knee-deep snow, faces red from the biting cold, determined to reach their destinations despite the odds. Every aspect of daily life is tested by the unyielding winter. The world watches, asking, could this rival the coldest winters in history? News reports show images of blizzards sweeping across the continent, families gathered around televisions, searching for updates and hoping for signs of change. Scientists and historians debate, comparing this winter to legendary freezes of the past. This winter is a humbling reminder of nature's power and our place within it. As snow continues to fall and winds howl through empty streets, Europe faces a test of endurance and resilience. In the silence, there is both beauty and vulnerability. A continent united by the challenge of surviving a season that will be remembered for generations. Why is Europe shivering? The answer lies in a rare convergence of atmospheric forces. A massive blocking high over Scandinavia acts like a boulder in the jet stream, halting the usual flow of mild Atlantic air. With the Atlantic blocked, Arctic air pours south, flooding Europe with relentless cold. This pattern persists for weeks, marinating the continent in polar air. La Niña, cooling the Pacific, amplifies the jet stream's waviness, making such blocking highs more likely. The Polar Vortex, destabilized, sends lobes of frigid air south. It's a perfect storm, three powerful forces aligning to create a winter for the ages. The Scandinavian blocking high is a true atmospheric giant, dictating weather across Europe. Calm and cold beneath, its reach extends continent-wide. Earlier this winter, a sudden stratospheric warming disrupted the polar vortex, sending a lobe of Arctic air over northern Europe. Trapped by the blocking high, this cold air couldn't escape. The result, a rare, synchronized event, blocking high, La Niña, and fractured polar vortex, creating a record-breaking freeze. It's a vivid demonstration of how interconnected and unpredictable our climate can be. We are spectators to this grand atmospheric ballet. To truly understand the challenges of 2026, we must look back more than 3 centuries, to the winter of 1709, a time when Europe was gripped by the infamous Great Frost, the coldest winter the continent had ever recorded. This was not just a season, but a turning point in history, a moment when nature's power was felt in every corner of daily life. The Great Frost struck during the so-called Little Ice Age, a period of cooler temperatures that had already made life difficult. But nothing prepared people for the relentless, 3-month ordeal that began in January. Temperatures plummeted to record lows, and snow blanketed the land, transforming familiar villages and towns into frozen wastelands. The cold was so intense that birds literally froze mid-flight and fell from the sky. Even ink in bottles solidified, making it impossible to write letters or keep records. Major rivers like the Thames in London and the Seine in Paris turned to solid ice, becoming makeshift roads and gathering places for desperate citizens. The sea itself froze along the coasts, trapping ships in thick ice and cutting off vital trade routes. Crops and orchards, unable to withstand the bitter cold, were destroyed. Livestock perished in the fields, their bodies buried beneath drifts of snow, leaving families without food or income. As winter dragged on, food stores dwindled, markets stood empty, and famine swept through villages and cities alike. When the snow finally melted in spring, it revealed a landscape of devastation, barren fields, ruined homes, and communities forever changed by hunger and loss. In 1709, there was no central heating, no electricity, and no global trade networks to bring relief. People relied on what little they had, often forced to abandon their homes or huddle together in makeshift shelters. Every day was a struggle for survival, and every night brought new fears. To keep warm, families burned anything they could find: furniture, books, even the wooden beams of their own homes. They gathered around small fires, sharing what little warmth they could create, and clung to hope as the cold pressed in from all sides. The Great Frost of 1709 remains a chilling testament to human vulnerability in the face of nature's extremes. It was a time when communities were tested, and the resilience of the human spirit was pushed to its limits. Even today, historians and scientists look back on the Great Frost as the ultimate yardstick for European winters, a reminder of how a single season can reshape the course of history. Fast forward to 1962-63, the Big Freeze, still within living memory. A blizzard after Christmas buried the UK, isolating villages for weeks. Snow lingered until March. Rivers and even the Thames froze. Modern infrastructure buckled frozen coal. Power cuts halted deliveries. The challenge was systemic breakdown, not starvation. Communities rallied, digging out neighbors and sharing hardship. The Big Freeze exposed the fragility of modern life and became a cultural touchstone. It's a recent benchmark as we face the winter of 2026. Comparing 2026 to 1709 is comparing two worlds. The winter of 1709, known as the Great Frost, was a time when Europe was at the mercy of nature. People relied on the land, and a single season of cold could mean famine, hardship, and loss for entire communities. Today, in 2026, our cities are bustling, our lives are intertwined with technology, and we have resources undreamed of by those who lived centuries ago. Yet, the cold still finds ways to challenge us. The Great Frost struck an agrarian, fragile society. Today, we face extreme cold in a warmer, interconnected world. Back then, survival depended on the harvest, on firewood, and on the strength of local communities. Now, our survival depends on global supply chains, electricity, and the invisible networks that keep our world running. The threats have changed, but the stakes remain high. Our threats are systemic: power grid failures, supply chain disruptions, not starvation. Instead of empty granaries, we fear empty supermarket shelves and blackouts that can paralyze entire cities. A single point of failure can ripple across continents, affecting millions in ways unimaginable in 1709. Technology shields us but also creates new vulnerabilities. Our dependence on digital communication, heating systems, and real-time information means that when these systems falter, the impact is immediate and widespread. We are protected by our innovations, but also exposed by them. Advanced forecasting and global logistics help us prepare, but a prolonged outage would be catastrophic. Meteorologists can warn us days in advance, and supply trucks can cross continents. But if the power goes out or roads are blocked, our modern safety nets can unravel quickly. Our resilience is collective, not individual. In the face of crisis, it's the strength of our communities, the willingness to help neighbors, and the ability to organize that determines how well we endure. We are stronger together, just as people were in 1709, but now our communities span the globe. The challenge now is to keep our complex systems running. Engineers, utility workers, and everyday citizens all play a role in maintaining the delicate balance that keeps our society functioning through the coldest days. The winter of 2026 tests not just survival, but the strength of our technological web. Every snowflake that falls is a reminder of both our progress and our dependence on the systems we've built. It's a new kind of vulnerability, one that demands adaptation and cooperation. As we face the cold together, our greatest strength lies in our ability to adapt, to innovate, and to support one another in a world where winter's challenges have changed, but its lessons remain timeless. How can we have record cold in a warming world? It's the difference between weather and climate. Global warming makes cold snaps less likely, but not impossible. Sometimes, the atmospheric dice roll cold, like now. Rapid Arctic warming may actually destabilize the jet stream, making extreme winters more likely in some regions. The winter of 2026 is not proof against climate change, but a symptom of its complexity. Climate change means more extremes: heat, floods, and yes, deep freezes. This winter is a reminder of our climate's unpredictable power. The winter of 2026 is a stress test for Europe's resilience. Forecasting gave us time to prepare, saving lives and softening the blow. Energy grids and transport networks have been pushed to their limits. Communities have shown solidarity, but inequalities are stark. Some face hardship, others mere inconvenience. The freeze has forced a slower pace, reconnecting people locally. It's exposed both the strengths and weaknesses of our systems. This is a real-world rehearsal for future climate shocks. How we adapt and rebuild will define the legacy of this winter. When the thaw comes, 2026 will be remembered not for devastation, but as a new benchmark. Scientists will study this winter for years, refining models and understanding climate links. For society, it's a lesson in humility and resilience, a reminder that we're still at nature's mercy. The freeze has exposed vulnerabilities and prompted a rethinking of infrastructure and preparedness. It will be a story told for generations of frozen canals, snowbound cities, and the world slowing down. Not a tale of defeat, but of endurance and adaptation. The winter of 2026 reminds us, we live on a powerful, unpredictable planet.